Welcome to Cotherman Distilling Company. Today we're looking at our continuous still setup that we're going to try to use. Continuous still takes the heat from the distilling and uses it, instead of wasting it, puts it back into the beer that you're distilling. You get a bunch of recovery and you basically continually push beer in, feed it with a little extra steam heat or electric heat, make it vaporize, and then recover that heat. So you can experience much more efficiency and run the still continuously, hence continuous still. So in our continuous still, we're going to feed beer in to this chamber right here, right where that spray ball is, right back there, but probably not through the spray ball. Then we have a series of plates down here, and what those will do, then there'll be a heating element in this container down here, and basically we will boil water down in here. The steam will rise up. As the beer comes in, it'll start to drop down through these, but the alcohol in the beer and the water will mix, and what boils will be the alcohol. These 8 plates will ensure that none of the alcohol, or as little alcohol as possible, is lost out the bottom. The alcohol that goes up will come through the thing and come down through this condenser. These 2 condensers here are cooled by the incoming beer. The incoming beer comes in through this pump right here, fed from a tote like there, over with George over there. So the beer takes 2 paths. The first path it takes is through this product condenser, where it warms up through 2 product condensers, through that copper line, connects to the second condenser, then it comes out here. We'll control its feed rate with the beer. It will come into this T here and be into basically what we have as a degassing chamber. So this level right here, you see this is open at the top. This is hopefully where our foam will go out, but the beer will go out the back here and go into our still. We have it coming out through this T, which is open, which is a vacuum break, just so we can measure the amount of water coming out without taking into account that extra 6 or 7 foot of elevation, so we get accurate flow readings. We're able to flow about 1.5 gallons a minute through each. The other thing that happens is when you're doing this, a lot of the water in the beer, which is 80% of the liquid in the beer, goes down. Well, eventually it'll fill up this boiler here. Well, this valve right here, not a valve, just a drain out of here, this black hose comes in, and it heats up this heat exchanger and comes back out this copper tube down there, this old copper tube, and will drain out of here once it's overflowing. What that'll do is recover the heat, because the water down here is boiling 212, so the beer feed there that comes out of there will recover that, and it comes up and feeds into that T that we saw before. So we regulate with a couple of valves the proportions of the beer going through the product condenser and through the bottoms condenser to feed our degassing chamber. Hopefully we'll be firing this up next week. We just got most of the components. I want to change a few fittings here and there, and then we'll fire it up for a real test run. Cotherman Distilling out.